everyone and welcome to a new reading vlog. As per usual, we have our furry friends here, so please excuse them if they make any noise throughout this clip. They just want my attention 24/7. So I am going to be starting off this vlog with a little unboxing. However, technically it isn't an unboxing. I've already opened the majority of the things I'm about to show you just because they arrived at my door and I didn't have a clue what they were. And me being me, I didn't think to open them on camera, so you're not getting my first reaction to two of these items. But there is one thing that I didn't open because I knew it was from a specific person, which I will talk about in a second. So at least we have one surprise to look forward to. If I can move Kiwi out of the way, I will just show you the first thing. There we are, I've got it now. But I cannot show you my address, obviously. Don't want anyone rocking up here out of the blue. But I have this little envelope here, and what gave it away to me was the fact that it has a little sticker at the front that says, "Thank you for supporting my small business." And the small business that is being referred to here is Ryan's business, and his shop is actually called Ryan Connelly Design. He does a load of amazing bookish prints, and it's actually now 1 year since he first opened his shop, and so to celebrate, he's actually having a birthday sale on his shop where every single thing is reduced. And Ryan was very kind enough to send me some prints so I can show you guys. Like I said, I'm not sure what these are gonna be. Ryan did say he'll just send me out a print, so we'll see. Oh my gosh, we have two in here. Wow. Oh, thank you, Ryan. I did not expect that. So the first one, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm trying to show you without the glare. Obviously it would be better if I took out the plastic, but I don't want to do that because I want a frame for this first. And if you can't tell what this is, it is a Sarah J Maas print. So it says, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered," which is an iconic quote from that series. It's one of my favourite quotes of all time, and A Court of Mist and Fury is actually one of my favourite books of all time. I can just see Kiwi chewing something in the viewfinder, and it's a scrunchie, which she should not be doing, so there we are. Managed to steal it off her. I can always tell when she's stolen something because she's very quiet. So this is the best I can show you without there being a glare, but how stunning is this print, guys? And it does just say A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas on the bottom as well, and I just love this one. Again, not only is it a print from one of my favourite books, it also has some of my favourite colours on it, which, if you don't know, are blue, purple and silver, and that is definitely a mix of that because it is the night sky. And all in all, this is just a beautiful print. And then next up, oh, it's back to front. What is it? Oh my gosh, okay. This is a Nevernight print, if you couldn't tell by the colours, and it says, "Never flinch, never fear, never forget," and this is once again an iconic quote from that series. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this one too. How did Ryan guess? These are two of my favourite book series of all time, and now I have prints for both. That is just insane. Thank you so much, Ryan, for sending these to me. I am currently in the middle of decorating my library as well, so these will definitely be on the wall somewhere in there. I will have probably put a picture of Ryan's Etsy store on screen for you guys, and I will definitely leave his store link down below. The sale is running until the end of August, so definitely don't miss out on it. I do want to order a bookish stack print as well, and I need to do so soon. It's just the fact that I'm so indecisive and I can't choose which books I want in my stack. As soon as I figure that out, I will be purchasing my own print from Ryan, and I honestly cannot wait for it. The book stacks as well look absolutely incredible. He also does prints on canvases, and he's just all around amazing. So I will leave all of his information linked down below for you guys, and I just highly recommend you check him out and support his small business because it is truly amazing. Oh no, my camera battery is flashing at me. Right, if I cut off, I'm sorry. I might have to charge this quickly and I'll take Kiwi for a walk whilst doing so. But the second thing I want to show you is honestly amazing, and it's this little wax melt holder. How cute is this? It literally has Kiwi on the front. So I opened this and I was a bit confused, but then I remembered that Caris from Caris's Corner said she was gifting me this as an extra birthday present, but it was just delayed unfortunately, and now it's finally here, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. I almost cried when I opened this, guys, because it's just so thoughtful, and again, it has my little dog on there, and she does have a red collar, a red harness, a red lead, everything like that, and this one does too, which is just the best thing. We do also have a wax melt that came with this, and this is what it looks like. So this is black plum and rhubarb, and yeah, this smells absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to burn it. Again, I might have to put this in my library actually. I definitely think this will look cute there, and every time I look at it, it's just gonna melt my heart as well. So thank you so much, Caris. Again, you really didn't have to, but it has made my day. I love it so much, and I will leave all the information to this store down below as well. So if you guys fancy one of these for yourselves or want to buy one as a gift for someone else, obviously they don't just do the Labrador ones, they have a load of different designs. And I will just show you their business card quickly. Sorry if I'm shaking. reading, but this is some of the information for you as well. And then finally, sorry I'm talking really quickly because I really don't want the camera to cut out, but it's going to eventually. I opened a parcel the other day, guys. Again, was very confused because I wasn't sure what it was going to be, and when I tell you I screamed, I'm not exaggerating. As predicted, the camera rudely cut me off there, so if anything's changed, I'm sorry. My hair definitely has. I've just gotten in from taking Kiwi for a walk and it was not cute, so I've chucked it up, and I hope it's not too distracting for you. But I was just telling you about the third package that I received, and guys, I genuinely can't believe this. I have the Christie Affair. Oh my gosh. This is my first ever ARC, and it's a book all about Agatha Christie, which, if you don't know, I absolutely love Agatha Christie's works. I'm currently reading the Miss Marple murder mysteries, and then I'm going on to Poirot, so I'm just on an Agatha Christie kick at the minute. So is Kiwi apparently. What on earth is going on with this dog? She should be knackered. I've just taken her for a 3-mile walk. Anyway, I genuinely cannot believe that I have this in my hands. This is my first ever ARC, and I'm just gobsmacked. So this is what the book looks like. I mean, just look at that. It is beautiful. It's like an old newspaper, which again, I just love. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it has the title on the spine in this beautiful gold foiling. And then this is the back. How cool is this? I genuinely cannot believe that I have this in my hands. This isn't coming out until January of 2022. And I have an early copy. I have an ARC. What on earth? I've never been sent one before. I don't know how to react. This is the coolest thing. I feel like everyone, when they start booktube, their dream is to get an ARC, and it definitely was for me. I have received a finished copy of a book, and that was Daughters of Sparta, and that was to review on my channel, but I've never had an advanced reader copy, which this is. So if you don't know, because obviously I've glossed over the content of this book, so this is The Christie Affair by Nina de Gramont, and this book is all about the disappearance of Agatha Christie. So if you guys aren't aware, Agatha Christie did actually disappear for a period of time, and it was a massive mystery. No one knew where she went or anything like that. There's actually a BuzzFeed Unsolved episode for this, which is brilliant, so I will link that down below if I can remember, so you guys can check it out if you're interested. But I never knew about her disappearance until I watched that video, and I have been a fan of Agatha Christie's works for years now. I've been picking them up here and there, but this year I have made it a priority to read at least one Agatha Christie book a month. And like I said, I'm currently on the Miss Marple books. I'm almost done with those now. I think I have a couple more to read. One of them I will be reading hopefully in this vlog actually, which is really fitting. But when this was announced, I freaked out. I did message my friend Emily from Emily Kathleen Reads here on BookTube. She is a massive fan of Aggie C as well. That's what we call her. Might be weird to some people, but it's just our little joke, I guess. And yeah, I messaged her about this book being like, right, when this comes out, we need to buddy read it and we need to share our thoughts and experience it together, because I feel like this would be so fun. And then all of a sudden, I now have the book in my hands, so I feel bad for Emily because I'm definitely going to read this before release date now. But I will still be here to chat to her with it once she reads it. But oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing and I'm freaking out. All it says on the back for this one is, in 1926, Agatha Christie disappeared for 11 days. Aside from the famous author herself, only I know the truth of her disappearance. I'm no Hercule Poirot. I'm her husband's mistress. Oh, the drama. We love it. And then this is literally like an actual newspaper report. So it says, Mrs. Agatha Christie, famed murder mystery novelist, has vanished from her home in Sunningdale, Berkshire, under mysterious circumstances this weekend. And it literally goes through all the details, like the police description. So it says, dressed in a grey stockingette skirt, green jumper, grey and dark grey cardigan, small green velour hat, may have had a handbag containing £5 to £10, left home in a 4-seater Morris Coley car at 9:45 p.m. on the 3rd of December, leaving a note saying she was going for a drive. The next morning, the car was found abandoned at Newlands Corner, Albury, Surrey. Should this lady be seen or any information regarding her be obtained, please communicate to any police station or to Charles Goddard, Superintendent, Wokingham. Like I keep saying, this is just the coolest thing. And not only that, actually, not only did I receive this stunning art copy of one of my most anticipated books of next year, I also got some items in the package as well. So first off, it did come with this little sheet, so it has all the information of the book that's releasing in 2022. I will just give you a close-up because this is what the final cover looks like. And okay, so it has a date as well. It publishes on the 20th of January 2022. And film rights have already been sold to Miramax. Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing. So I have read you the top bit, which is what's on the back of the ARC, but it does also say, Agatha Christie's world is one of glamorous society parties, country house weekends, and growing literary fame. Nana Dia's world is something very different. Her attempts to escape a tough London upbringing during the Great War led to a life in Ireland marred by a hidden tragedy. After fighting her way back to England, she set her sights on Agatha, because Agatha Christie is something Nan wants, and it's not just her husband. Despite their differences, the two women will become the most unlikely unlikely of allies, and during the mysterious 11 days that Agatha goes missing, they will unravel a dark secret that only Nan holds the key to. Oh my gosh! Again, drama, we're here for it. I can't wait to see what this is all about. And then, oh my gosh, it just gets better. So, first off, we have this postcard, and how creepy is this? It's an old country house, and it says the Belfoot Hotel, Yorkshire, and oh my gosh, it's coming back to me now. This is very relevant, obviously, because why would they send it to me otherwise? But yes, this is a hotel that I'm guessing features in the book. It features in The Disappearance of Agatha Christie. If you can guess how it comes into that, well done you. If not, don't worry about it. But I just love how they've made it look old. So look at the edges of this. I know I've just shown you, but look, this bit is all blacked out, and then the colour of it obviously looks like it's so old. And then we have another postcard, and it's a missing persons notice. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have these in my hands. And it says Mrs. Agatha Mary Clarissa Christie. What a name, guys. Wow. Age 36, height 5 feet 7 inches. Oh, the same as me. Hair red, shingled part grey, complexion fair, build slight, and then it goes on to the police description, which I have already read out to you, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But it goes through everything that she's wearing, and it says to contact the police if you have more information. So again, I will just give you a close-up of this. You can pause it and read it for yourself if you want to. And then the last thing I just love, and I didn't realise what it was. For some reason, I thought it was a rubber. So this is the last thing that was included. It looks like this, and it comes in a little box. Any guesses? Leave them down in the comments below. But in here, oh no. Why did I think that was a good idea? In there we had some matches, which are now all over my floor. Oh, that's gonna take ages to pick up now.
A few moments later.
Right, so I think I've managed to pick up all the matches. I actually have to be really careful because of course I have pets, and I don't want them chewing things that they're not meant to be chewing. So yes, I have some matches, and it does say that it's a souvenir from the Belfoot Hotel, and again it just has the name of the novel, The Christie Affair, on it. And wow, it's just so cool. How fitting though, I can definitely use these to light the little candle in this wax melt thing. I don't think there's anything else in here that I need to show you unless there's some secret papers involved or something like that. Nothing that I've seen. No, I think it's all done, but oh, I just cannot get over how stunning this is, and the fact that I have my first ever ARC in my hands. This is just completely surreal to me. So as soppy as it sounds, I do want to say a massive thank you to you guys, because if you guys weren't taking interest in my videos and my content and everything like that, this would not be possible. And I just cannot believe that so many of you are here to support me, and that, oh, I'm getting emotional. Oh wow. But yeah, I genuinely cannot believe that you guys actually like what I'm putting out here and you do care about my reviews. But I truly do appreciate it, and this is just another milestone for me that I didn't think I would get to for a very long while. And the fact that this is one of my most anticipated books, if not the most anticipated book for next year, and I have it in my hands, is just crazy to me. So a massive, massive thank you to you guys. I can never thank you enough for your support. Just know that it truly does mean the world to me, and I wish I could express myself in a better way. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna put it down now though, so I can cool down and actually talk to you guys about the books that are featured in this vlog. But yeah, thank you to you guys. Thank you to Mantle Press for sending me this book. I really want to read it as soon as possible, but I feel like I might hold off until closer to release date, just so that I can have my review fresh for you guys. I think I might also film a dedicated reading vlog of me reading this, spoiler free of course, and I think I will get that up maybe a week before release date. Actually, that might be a good plan. I think I'll do that. But yeah, just know I'm full of excitement right now, and I need to calm down. So this is going down for a bit, and if you stuck through this far, thank you once again. Right, I've taken a deep breath, and I finally need to tell you guys about the books that I've been reading. So if you guys aren't aware, there is a readathon going along at the minute called the Merlin Readathon. It's happening in the first 2 weeks of August, and I am of course participating. If you haven't seen my monthly TBR, please do check it out. I will leave it linked up above for you guys and down below. So if you haven't seen what I'm going to be reading and you don't want to be spoiled, then please make sure to click on that video first and then come back to watch this one. So for those of you who have watched my TBR or who don't really care, you guys know I need to read 4 books for this readathon. I'm not too sure though how this is gonna go, because not gonna lie to you guys, it's already the 11th of August, which means we are a week and a half into the readathon, and I have not finished a single book. I got sidetracked last week. I was very busy. I was trying to do a lot of different things. I also was feeling really bad physically and mentally, so I took a few days off just for myself because I was not in the right space space to try and create content, to try and read and things like that. And then at the weekend I was at my mum's and I decided to set a challenge for myself to read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson in 24 hours. I'm not going to tell you guys how I did there because I have filmed a separate reading vlog for that, so it should be up by now, and again, if it is, I will leave it linked down below for you guys. But yeah, all of those things together essentially took up last week for me, so I've only really focused on reading again this week. Saying that though, I haven't done too badly. So you will have seen in the b-roll that I'm currently reading Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I was very apprehensive about this book before diving in. Again, if you've watched my TBR, you'll know why. I'm not going to go into it here, it's really not worth it. All I'll say is that some people did tell me that this book includes the Welsh language, and I have read a couple of books now that do try to include the Welsh language, and let me tell you, it never works because the authors I've read from have been American and English, and to be honest, if you're not Welsh, the Welsh language does not make sense to you and you are bound to get something wrong because there are so many different mutations and grammatical rules and things like that in the Welsh language that it is very hard to do so right. But to be honest, I guess these authors don't really care because if they don't understand it too much, it's not like most of the readers are going to understand it. Welsh is a lesser spoken language. People are always shocked to find that it is my first language, and so when I hear that a book includes the Welsh language, it just, oh, it sends a weird feeling through my body. I'm currently up to page 386 of this book, so I'm just about finished now. This is all I have left, this part here. And not even read actually, I've been listening to the audiobook for this just because, again, I've been in a weird mood and I've been quite busy, so I haven't really had the time to sit down and physically read. But audiobooks are great because I take Kiwi for a walk every day, so I do get a lot of listening time done there. I honestly didn't pick up too much on the Welsh in this. However, I have since spoken to Ro from Wandering Through Worlds. We had a little chat about it because if you don't know, Ro is also Welsh and her partner can speak Welsh, I believe, or he understands Welsh, and she basically messaged me asking how I felt about the language in here. Because I hadn't physically read it and because I listened to the audiobooks at 2 times the speed, I feel like it was harder for me to pick up on the language in this, but some things definitely popped out, and I'm sorry guys, they're not the best things. It's fine, I'm loving this book so far, so it's not really hindering my enjoyment too much, but there are a couple of words and phrases that the author has included, and when I listened to them I thought this doesn't sound right, and so I went to the book and I checked if that was actually what I'd heard, and it was. And I just had to take a step back and think, right, don't lose your shit. It's fine, just carry on with the book and see how the rest of it is. But I will actually see what Ro and I picked up on, because I think she said there were a few words there were jarring, and I agree, like if you include another language in your book just randomly, it is going to be quite jarring, even if it's just a few words or phrases. But there was something specific, so I'll just go and see what it is. Oh, that's the one. Okay. Right, so I picked up on 2 words, right? And again, it's probably not going to make sense to any of you guys, but one word the author used in here is inanedig, and the other word is chwedlanedig. And I was thinking to myself, this just doesn't sound right. And so, like I said, I looked it back up in this book, and I just had to take a minute, because I don't know if the author's gone on Google Translate or what, but those words don't actually mean anything. They are made up words. The author here is trying to say that inanedig is united, but that's not the right word. United is inedig, it's not inanedig. I don't know how many of you guys will be following now, but trust me, it is grating. So for example, United Kingdom is Teyrnas Unedig, so I don't know where on earth she's got inanedig from. And then the other one, like I said, chwedlanedig, so I was thinking, well, it must be to do with the Welsh folk tales and myths and legends, because again, if you don't know, we refer to them as chwedlau, that's the name for them. So I thought chwedlanedig, she must be trying to refer to those. So the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, this just, it's not right, it's completely made up, and the right word for it is chwedlonol, which is completely different. And I'm like, how? Like, if you're going to include Welsh words in your book, please make sure to research it. It took me 2 minutes to go on a translating app to make sure that I was correct in this. You know when you doubt yourself sometimes? That happened to me. I was right. I don't know why you wouldn't just double check or ask a Welsh person to read through it. I don't know if the author has, to be honest with you. I definitely need to look more into this, but those are just 2 examples that I looked up and I shared with Ro. So again, just to make sure, I will show you guys. So that one is united and it is inedig. Oh, and that was it. Yeah, legendary is chwedlonol. So yeah, I think she must have either made them up or gone on Google Translate or just gone somewhere else with it. I have no idea. But that is something that I noticed, and I'm glad I had Ro to speak to be honest with you, because we were both quite confused. I know she said that her partner was unsure about it as well, so I'm glad we sort of got to chat about it together and figure it out, because we were all confused confused. But yeah, other than that, this is a solid fantasy book. I'm loving this one so much. We have the love triangle, we have the drama, we have the magic, we have the forbidden magic. Oh, it's all going down, you guys. And I don't know how to describe this one because I don't want to spoil it to you, but essentially our main character Bree applies to a scholarship program to go to a college, but tragically before she is set to start, her mother does pass away. She thinks though that moving to this college will be a new start for her, which it is, but not in the way that she expected. On her first night on campus, Bree witnesses a magical attack, and there is a Merlin there who tries to erase Bree's memories of that night. This doesn't quite go to plan though. Bree actually remembers everything that's gone on, and because of this she gets thrown into a world of magic and chaos essentially, and she soon learns that the people she saw fighting in this magical attack are called Legendborn, and they are actually the descendants of King Arthur. As Bree spends more time around these people, she recovers a buried memory from the night her mother died, and she now thinks that the Legendborn could possibly be involved in her mother's death. And so Bree must decide whether she wants to help the Legendborn fight this war, or if she'll try and take the society down. This is a chunky book, guys, and I've definitely not been in the mood to read fantasy lately. I don't know why. I've gone about 2-3 months without picking up a fantasy book, but I'm so glad that I have now. This has definitely reignited my love of fantasy. Not that it ever went away, it was just that I wasn't in the right mood to read it, because again, I've just been in such a weird mental state recently. My health definitely isn't the best, so I think that is a big factor. Just to give you guys some context, I am asthmatic. You might be able to tell now actually. I've been really struggling on my walks recently, and I think it's because one day it's sunny, the next day it rains, and so the air and the atmosphere or whatever can't make up their mind, and it's really affecting my chest. So again, if I'm breathless, it's because I'm talking quickly, and it's because it's also the fact that I cannot breathe. And then I do also have to take B12 tablets 3 times a day because my immune system is awful, and if I don't take them I just get really tired and unmotivated. My head hurts. So there are a lot of things going on at the minute, and not to mention I'm still dealing with my grief. That is something that is still very present. I have ups and downs, and I think it's all just a lot. Not that you guys need to know this, but that is essentially why I've not been reading as much as I have, and why I've been straying away from fantasy, I think. I thought this one was a standalone, but I believe that Rose said it was going to be a trilogy. I'm not quite sure. I'll definitely have to look that up, but I'm here for it, guys. I'm loving this book. It's currently, I want to say a 5-star, but I don't know if the fact that the Welsh is in there will pull it down to a 4. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see how it wraps up. At the minute, I'm just into it. I love the drama. I love everything that's going on. There's just been a massive plot twist as well, which I cannot talk about obviously, but it's intense, and I am planning on finishing this one tonight actually. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna play Luigi's Mansion on my Switch, or maybe even Animal Crossing. I haven't played that in ages, and I really feel like doing so, and I think whilst I do that I will just pop on the audiobook and finish this one off. Not gonna lie, I'm terrified, and if this ends on a cliffhanger I swear I will scream. But I just cannot wait to see how it ends. It's all up in the air at the minute. It's quite intense, and yeah, I just cannot wait to sit down now and finish it. And then the only other book that I've started so far is Killing for Company: The Case of Dennis Nilsen by Brian Masters. If you cannot tell, this is a non-fiction book all about Dennis Nilsen and his crimes. For anyone who doesn't know, Dennis Nilsen is a serial killer. He did confess to 15 murders, and all of his victims were unfortunately homosexual men. I've always been very interested in this case, just because if you don't know, I do watch a lot of true crime content. It's something that's always fascinated me, and recently as well, I don't know if you can see, there's a little red sticker there. That is basically to advertise the fact that recently there was an ITV drama released called Des, which was a 3-part drama I believe that focused on this case, and Dennis Nilsen was actually played by David Tennant, which if you guys haven't seen, I would highly recommend you do so. That performance was amazing on David Tennant's part. It was so creepy to watch, and it genuinely made your skin crawl, because if you've seen any interviews with Dennis Nilsen, David Tennant plays him to a T. Like, oh my gosh, it is really crazy. It's very, very unnerving, to be honest with you. So I would highly recommend watching that if you can. Definitely gives you some sort of insight into the mind of Dennis Nilsen, and also obviously goes into his crimes as well, which, let me tell you, are gruesome. There's no other way to say it. He is a serial killer. It's not going to be nice. So if that's not your thing, definitely stay away from that. But if you are like me and you're interested in true crime, I would highly recommend the adaptation. And now I'm finally diving into this book. I think I've owned this one for like 3 years now, but I've just never picked it up, mainly for the fact that I don't really read non-fiction books. But one of my goals for this year was to read more true crime non-fiction, just because I have quite the collection now, and again, I've not really read any of them. So I was determined to pick this one up soon anyway, and now is actually the perfect time, because if you don't know, one of my best friends, Chloe from Chloe Reads Books, has started a true crime book club. So every month she chooses a true crime book for us to read, and we can discuss discuss it on Discord together. If you cannot tell, the book for August is this one, and I'm currently actually 80 pages in. I again put on the audiobook today because I'm not gonna lie, the text in this is tiny and I really could not be asked sitting down to read again today. So I popped on the audiobook whilst I was doing some stuff around the house. I was on my laptop for quite a bit this morning, just doing a bit of admin stuff and setting up other things and whatnot, and I listened to quite a bit apparently. So far, I don't want to say it's boring because oh my gosh, that sounds awful, but we have the preface, we have a note from the author, and it's all well and good, but normally I would just skip past that at least until I finish the book and then I'd go back and read that. So it took a while to get into it, and also there is a lot of background information put in the first and second chapters, which again is the case with every book. You definitely need to ease yourself into it, and I feel like now is the point where I am starting to focus a lot more and I'm starting to get a lot more intrigued. This book is also very interesting because it was written at the time that Nilsen was alive in prison, I believe, and so he cooperated fully to Brian Masters writing this book. A lot of this book is told in Dennis Nilsen's own words as he recounts what happened on the nights of the murders and things like that, and it's so creepy, but this is the type of thing that I'm really interested in, the psychology behind it all. And so reading the killer's own words, it just sends chills down my spine, but again, it's so interesting. At this point you might be thinking, wait Hannah, I'm pretty sure you were meant to read this book last, and you would be right in saying that, but as I keep saying, I've been in such a weird reading mood lately that I've just picked up this one because I felt like I was in the mood for it. And so even though I'm technically now not following the path directly, I'm determined to finish the 4 books by the end of the week, and so it doesn't really matter if any of the hosts are watching this, I'm so sorry, but I think what I'm going to do is just make sure that I do manage to read the 4 books and not really focus too much on the order that I'm reading them, just because if I start doing that and I'm not in the mood for a book, I will be putting myself in a reading slump, which I don't want to do. So yes, these are the 2 books that I'm currently reading. I am so sorry that this clip has been 100 miles per hour. I just need to calm down for a second. I'm so sorry, but I just had a lot of exciting things to share with you guys, so sorry if my energy in this is just utterly chaotic, but it is that type of evening. For now though, I think I'm gonna end this clip here. I don't think I'll read more of this book tonight, but I definitely want to finish Legendborn. That is my goal for the day, and I think I can do it. It is currently, it's actually 10 o'clock, but I have around 100 pages left, I think. Yeah, 100 pages left, so definitely doable. Even if I sit down with the audiobook and read it physically, I will get it done tonight, so it doesn't matter either way. But I'm gonna go and do just that now, and I will see you guys in my next clip. I finally have some updates for you guys. So it's been a couple of days again now. It's currently Saturday and I have since finished Legendborn. I ended up giving this one 4 stars, though I'm not sure if it's closer to a 4.5 to be honest with you. I really enjoyed this one. The only thing that let it down for me was of course the Welsh. I just think it could have been better researched, and at some points I feel like it really wasn't necessary. It was just thrown in there for the author to be able to say that there was Welsh in this book. Other than that though, I had a really good time with this. The audiobook as well is amazing. I feel like it would have taken me a lot longer to get into this book if it wasn't for the audiobook. So I would highly recommend listening to this book audibly if you can. That's definitely how I'm going to continue on with this series as well, and I really cannot wait to see how the second book goes. This did leave off on a cliffhanger, which I could have predicted to be honest with you, but it was so fast paced, there was a lot of drama, and it does lead on nicely to its sequel. So all in all, I'm really happy with this one, really did enjoy it, definitely worth the hype, and again I would highly recommend you guys pick this one up if you haven't. And then then in Killing for Company, oh, I didn't put a bookmark in, but I think I was on page 240. Yes, so I'm on chapter 10 now, called Answers, and I only have this little bit to go. So I have made quite a bit of progress in this. Not gonna lie, I don't want to say it's boring me, but I think consuming true crime through a book is going to be a lot slower and a lot denser, rather than listening to an hour-long documentary about this case. So I think I'm struggling with that. Obviously this is the first true crime book that I've ever read, so I think just getting to grips with the writing style and the way everything's set out and the details that are included in this, even though it's quite dense, it makes sense in relation to the case as a whole. And even though there's a lot of information that I don't deem relevant, I do think that it's very interesting to see Dennis Nilsen after the fact and him recounting the history of what happened. I am listening to the audiobook for this as well as reading it physically. The audiobook is available on Scribd and it is really good actually. When the narrator does come to Dennis's parts, he does put on a Scottish accent, which if you don't know, Dennis Nilsen is Scottish. So you can differentiate between the main narrative and then Dennis Nilsen's accounts, which is very interesting and very helpful actually. Again, it does just sort of let you know that this is Dennis Nilsen that is actually saying these things and it's not the author's own words. It's straight from the mouth of a serial killer, and that is just so mind-blowing to me. I can't imagine sitting in the same room as him whilst the writer was trying to write this book and getting him to say all of these things, because it's just, that would just creep me out, to be honest with you. I could not look this person in the face knowing what they've done and knowing what they're capable of, and yeah, it's just mind-blowing to me that this person was able to do so. I do think I'm gonna finish this one tonight. However, I don't know if you can tell, I'm really not feeling well at the minute, and that is both mentally and physically. I have tweeted about this quite a lot these past few days, and I don't know what it is, but I'm just really unmotivated in all aspects of my life right now, and it's really getting me down. So I really don't want to film videos. I was meant to film 3 videos today, and as you can tell, I haven't done so. I don't know whether it's the fact that sit down videos tend to be more of a show, and in that I mean you sit down in front of the camera, you plaster a smile on your face, and you present the information that you want to share with people. However, in vlogs they're a lot more real life, and obviously you can see I would never post a sit down video of me looking like this. It's just ingrained in my head that I need to wear makeup, I need to look presentable, I need to feel good, because if I don't feel good I know the quality of the video isn't going to be as good itself. And so I've been putting off doing that, but then I feel like I need content obviously to go up on my channel, and if I'm not filming I won't have that content. And I think that's how it gets a little bit disruptive, is that I'm constantly aware of the fact that I need to be making content, I need to be editing this content, posting it, that sort of thing. And I think at the minute it's just really getting me down, and I don't know why. And then as well as that, at the minute I currently feel really ill. Like my belly is just, I don't know how to describe it. I genuinely feel like I'm very ill right now, and I have been trying to change up my diet this week, so I don't know if it's that, but honestly I'm just trying to eat a lot healthier. But at the minute I'm still feeling worse than myself, and I just don't know what's going on with me. So basically I'm in a really weird place at the minute. I don't know how to get out of it. I'm going for walks every day, which make me feel happy. I'm eating a lot healthier than I have been, but then again I'm still feeling extremely low, so I really don't know what is going on. But I thought I should address it here because I feel like you guys will be able to tell, and I'd rather just tell you point blank what's going on, to be honest with you. So my plans for tonight are going to be to finish this book, but before I do that I think I'm going to put on a film or something, try and see if that helps, maybe a comfort film. And when I say that, you know I mean the Lord of the Rings. I just don't know if that's going to help me. Again, I might take Kiwi for a walk, but it is currently raining, so we'll see. I feel like I will feel better having gone for a walk, so I probably will do that. But I'm just lost, you guys. I'm lost. I'm feeling rubbish in myself, and I really don't know what I can do to make myself feel better. I feel like online we all have this persona that's happy 24/7. We're living our best lives, having the best time possible, and it's just not the truth. I do want to keep this in here just to show you guys that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and like I said, I'm not too sure what I can do to get out of it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make myself a hot drink. I do have one behind me somewhere actually. Oh, it's right over here. I do have some green tea, but I feel like green tea might not be the best thing to drink when I'm feeling sick. But yeah, I think tonight is just going to be ultimate comfort. If I want to read afterwards I definitely will. If I don't, that's fine. I'm not going to push myself, even though I do want to complete this readathon and I want to complete 4 books. If I don't, it's fine. I've already read 2 books that I haven't talked about this month to you guys anyway, and of course I finished this one and I will be finishing this one too. So I will have read 2 books last week, 2 books this week, which isn't bad at all. I just need to stop putting pressure on myself. I need to take a break, take a step back, have a self-care night, and see if I feel better tomorrow. So I'm sorry that you had to sit through all of this, but like I said, I feel like it's important to tell you guys about this sort of stuff, just because I feel like we can all relate, you know. And I'm gonna stop talking now because I feel like this is just going on for a while. For now though, I am gonna leave you guys here and I'll catch up with you soon. Hello guys, I'm sorry if you can hear some kids screaming outside. They're being very loud today, but I did want to film a quick update. So I've just sat down and I've actually finished Killing for Company, and I don't quite know how to feel about this one. It was interesting, but I feel like a lot of it really dragged, and especially the ending. I struggled getting through the last 2 chapters. Chapter 10 especially, what a drag. Like, honestly, I think by that point we'd gone through the trial and everything like that, so everything was more or less wrapped up, and then it just kept going and going and going. I enjoyed it for what it was, though I did find it a bit boring. There were a lot of difficult words thrown in there, and I feel like there was a lot of information that we didn't necessarily need. And again, it was just sort of thrown in there maybe to make the book longer, maybe to make it seem a bit smarter, I don't know. But yeah, it just, I don't know, I struggled with this, especially towards the end essentially. Also, sorry if the camera's wobbling, I am just holding it up, so this is testing my arm strength and it's not the best. I'm like slowly sinking into my sofa, so if I disappear by the end of the clip, I'm sorry. But yeah, finished this one. I'm not too sure what the rating is. I feel like it's a 3-star, maybe even a 2.5, which sounds awful. Reading this physically wasn't half as interesting as listening to someone explain it or watching a documentary on the case, which is quite unfortunate really, but it is interesting, like I said, to hear Dennis Nilsen talk about these events himself. It was just long-winded for me, unfortunately, but I would recommend it if you want more information on Dennis Nilsen and his victims. I feel like people tend to forget about the victims in these sorts of cases because the serial killers are so infamous, but this definitely did highlight them. It gave them a voice and it did tell their story respectfully, which is an aspect that I did enjoy actually. So yeah, I feel like if you wanted to learn more about this case, it would be worthwhile to read this book. However, I feel like just from the amount of documentaries that I've watched on this case, I didn't really need to read this book, but I am glad that I have, so that I can say that I've done it now. This book has been on my TBR for years, so to finally get it off there is a relief, I'm not gonna lie. Plus it was also nice reading it as part of Chloe's book club. I have just been on the Discord reading people's messages and things like that, and I'm probably gonna share my thoughts on it in a minute as well. So yeah, finally finished this one and I'm really glad that I did, and I'm not gonna give a concrete rating now because I feel like it's a difficult one to rate anyway, but I will leave one on Goodreads eventually. I'm just gonna have to sit on it and maybe read a few reviews as well. As for me though, I am feeling a lot better today, which is really good. I'm so glad that I actually took time for myself last night. I don't know what happened to me guys, but as I was filming that clip for you, a wave of sickness just came over me. I felt so ill to the point where as soon as I finished the clip, I just had to lay down for an hour and I genuinely couldn't move because I thought I was going to be ill. So I don't know what that was, but like I've been saying recently, my health has just been very strange. Oh, we have a visitor. Hello. Kiwi was also a gem last night. She slept by me the whole time, and that's what I love about dogs. They just know when you need comfort, you know? So yeah, I love her so much and she really did help me last night. I ended up watching a couple of things actually. I watched a documentary on YouTube and I can't remember what it's called. My phone's actually currently updating, so I can't tell you guys, but it is a true crime documentary following a woman who killed her husband, and it's a limited series, so I thought I'd give it a watch. I think it had 4 or 5 episodes and it was really interesting, to be honest with you. So I watched that one, and then I ended up watching The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, and I don't know why I decided to put myself through that, guys. It's one of my favourite films, but I haven't watched it for the longest time, and wow, that film is so powerful, but it's also just the saddest thing. If you don't know, it's all about breaking the Enigma code in World War II, and it focuses on Alan Turing, who was a gay man, and he was eventually responsible for cracking the code, and that did shorten World War II, I believe, 2 years. So were it not for them breaking this Enigma code, the war would have continued on for another 2 years. And it's just crazy to see how clever these people were, especially Alan Turing himself. But then to see how he was rewarded for ultimately saving the country is just heartbreaking. And I know now that he's been given a pardon and things like that, but like, what does that mean, you know? I just can't imagine how much he suffered after the war, having to go through hormonal therapy. I'm not going to talk too much about it here, don't want to spoil too much, but if you haven't watched that film, I would highly recommend you do so. It has a stellar cast. Keira Knightley is also there, so you know I love that film anyway. But yes, Benedict Benedict Cumberbatch is fabulous as always. He's one of my favourite actors and he just does such a good job. So I'm really glad that I watched that one, guys. I forgot how much I loved it, but yeah, the ending had me crying. And again, I had to take some time for myself after that, but I think it was a release that I needed. You know, sometimes you just need a good cry, and that film definitely gave me that. So yeah, I watched that one, and then I actually moved on to continue watching The Alienist. So I watched season 1 a while back and I love it, and then I moved on to season 2 and oh, it's just so creepy. And actually I started watching season 2 a while back, but I think I'd gotten about 2 episodes in and that's when we found out that my auntie had passed away, and I really didn't want to go back to watching that because obviously there's some weird connection, isn't there? You know, if you watch something and get horrible news, you don't really want to watch that thing again. But it's something that I've not stopped thinking about. I do love the show and I decided, you know what, Hanan, it's time. Watch 1 episode, see how you feel. If you don't want to watch it afterwards, it's fine. But I ended up watching it and I'm really loving it again, so I am glad in a way that I did decide to do that. However, I could only watch 2 episodes because by this point it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and if you've not watched that show, it is honestly one of the most terrifying shows I've ever watched. It is so creepy. It's all about Victorian London, and in the first series we follow a serial killer, and in the second one we follow, I guess, another serial killer, but their target is babies. So it's very harrowing, not the nicest things at all, and then the way they go about it is just so gruesome, but the way they film it as well is so eerie and creepy. And yeah, being home alone waiting for Tom to come home from work, I had to put it off after 2 episodes because I just could not deal with myself. You know, when you hear sounds downstairs and you think, oh my god, is this person in my house now? So yeah, I ended up having to put that one off, and after that I watched 1 episode of The World's Toughest Prisons. So all in all, I had an amazing night consuming films and TV shows. I haven't done that for a while and I really missed it. I'm glad I gave myself some time to catch up on some things because I feel like I really needed it, you know? I've been definitely stressing about reading lately. I've been feeling the pressure to read, and so to take a night off and to just watch things that I've been wanting to watch for a while, or watch things that just popped up randomly and I thought, you know what, that sounds like a good thing to watch. I just had a good time, so I'm really glad that I did that. I'm going off topic now though, and I am just gonna lie down a bit because I need to get comfy. But my plans for the rest of the night, I'm going to try and read as much of They Do It With Mirrors as I can. This is a relatively short book. I think it's about 240 pages, 220 pages actually, which is even better because we love a short murder mystery. This is definitely gonna hit the spot for me. I'm just not 100% convinced that I'm gonna read it tonight. I'm determined. So it's Sunday night now, the last day of the Merlin Readathon, and I'm definitely not gonna complete the readathon. I'm not gonna read a 4th book, but I will be happy if I can manage to smash this out tonight. I really do want to. It's on my monthly TBR, and like I said, it's only about 220 pages. So the audiobook for this is on Scribd, and I think that's a 5-hour audiobook, but I will be listening at either 2 times the speed or 3 times the speed, depending on how fast I can get through this. I am gonna read it physically, but I think I'm gonna jump in the bath as well, so whilst I'm in the bath I will listen to it audibly, just because I don't like reading in the bath. I've never been a person that can do that. I'm really scared that I'm gonna damage my books, and so it would just be a nightmare because I'm literally the clumsiest person alive. And also Chloe from Chloe Reads Books is hosting some reading sprints tonight, which will definitely help me get through this book, and I will be reading this and hopefully I can finish it. Like I said, I am really determined to, so there shouldn't really be a reason not to, unless I get sidetracked by The Alienist, because I feel like I only have a couple of episodes left now until I finish season 2, but we'll see. I might make it a priority to read this, and then as a reward I can watch telly afterwards. I think that's how I'm gonna go. But I feel like now I've just been chatting absolute rubbish, so I'm gonna pop on Chloe's sprints. I think they start in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna make a cup of tea, sit down, get comfy, watch maybe 1 or 2 sprints, and then go for a bath, and hopefully in that time I can read a good chunk of this book, and I will update you guys once I'm a bit further in or once I finished it. I'm not too sure. Hi guys, I'm here to finally wrap up this vlog, and I'm pleased to say that I did in fact finish They Do It With Mirrors last night, which I don't know how. Actually I do. I did start this, as you saw, whilst Chloe was doing her reading sprints. I joined them for a bit, and then I also took Kiwi for a walk. We do tend to go for quite long walks, and so I did get a lot of listening time in. I think I was about halfway through the book by the time I got back, and then as I said I was going to do, I hopped in the bath, listened to it then, and then I finished it off afterwards, and I finished it I think around 11:30, so I was cutting it quite short. short, but I'm so glad that I managed to fit this in last night, and I'm really chuffed with myself actually. I haven't sat down and read a book that quickly in a while. I feel like Agatha Christie books are just the easiest to fly through once you've actually gotten into the story a bit and once you're familiar with the characters. They're just such compelling mysteries, and obviously they are quite short as well, so as soon as I started I didn't want to put it down, which is always good and very helpful for a readathon. So all in all, for this readathon I did manage to read Legendborn by Tracy Deonn, Killing for Company: The Case of Dennis Nilsen by Brian Masters, and then They Do It With Mirrors by Agatha Christie. And then I do just want to point out that I have also finished another 2 books last week, but they weren't for the Merlin Readathon, they were just books that I wanted to pick up anyway. The first one I carried over from July, and it was one of the NetGirly books, and then the second one was As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which came out last week, and I wanted to get to it as soon as possible. So I have read 5 books in this 2 weeks, however only 3 of them counted towards the Merlin Readathon, so even though I did not gain the title of mage, I am now a sorcerer, which I am very happy about. I couldn't have done any more, to be honest with you, without burning myself out, and I've managed to get to books that I've been putting off for the longest time, which is always a win. I think my favourite of the 3 was definitely Legendborn. I cannot get over this book, you guys. It's so fun, well written, and just very compelling as well. Even though it's massive and it did take me a while to get through it, the audiobook definitely helped, and it is now a new favourite of mine, which I'm really happy with. Like I mentioned, I have given this one 4.5 stars, I'm gonna say, and I cannot wait to continue on with the series. Killing for Company was my least favourite book, I think, but even though that's the case, I did learn a lot from this, and it is very interesting if you are into true crime. I did give this one 3 stars. I think that's going to be my rating for it. The ending was just way too slow, and it was such a drag, and I really didn't want to pick it up and finish it, so that is why the rating is a lot lower. Again, I feel like information was added in this that wasn't really relevant to the story and didn't really push the story on. I think it was just included to make the author seem clever, so yeah. Very interesting read if you want to know more about Dennis Nilsen's case, however not the best written book in my opinion. And then They Do It With Mirrors got 3 stars from me. Definitely not my favourite Agatha Christie. It's quite boring in comparison to the other ones, again that's just my opinion, but I have read quite a few of these now and this definitely isn't one that stands out to me, unfortunately. Saying that though, I did enjoy it, and I'm glad I managed to read an Aggie C book this month. Right, that is it from me today, guys. Please do let me know down below if you participated in the Merlin Readathon, and if you did, let me know how you got on. Also, if you have a vlog or a video for it, please do let me know. I'd love to check out your guys' content. What emoji can we have today, guys? I wanted to relate to these books in some sort of way. Do you know what? I'm gonna say leave me some blue emojis. This one has a lot of dark blue on it, and this one is primarily blue. So if you've made it this far, please do leave me some blue emojis in the comments. It honestly makes me so happy when I see you guys include the emojis, because I know you've made it this far, and that just blows me away. Also, I'm wearing a blue top. How cute is this? It's a Hercules jumper, which I love. Also, whilst you're down there, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Speaking of more content, I have recently launched my Patreon page where you can get a load of behind the scenes content, exclusive reading vlogs and live shows, and early access to a load of my videos. So if you do like watching my videos and you want to support me further, so if that sounds like something you're interested in and you want to support me further, you can click the link in my description box and join our little Patreon family. But that is it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!